Freight, standard. At this low price, the spanking new 79 Pinto at your Ford dealer.
Well, the Rams had a little mix-up. They called a timeout. Pat Hayden has returned to the huddle. 29 seconds remaining in this quarter as we have a first down from the 32 as Isaiah Robertson impatiently watching from the sideline. He has not played thus far. He walked out on Friday, came back to the ball club on Saturday, suited up, but Brzezinski's gone all the way. Here is McCutcheon on a first down. And McCutcheon drags people with him close to the 25-yard line. One thing about the Rams, when you take Capoletti, McCutcheon, and Bryant, you've got to hit them low. They'll just take you with them.
On the last play, the key to the success of that play was Capoletti. He dogged Joe Fetterspiel. Fetterspiel came through there in good shape, but he got a key block on him. The running back ran inside McCutcheon and got a nice gain on the play, but it was only due to the fact that Capoletti made a great block.
There it is again, as Hank describes it. Here he comes. Look at that block on number 58. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The New Orleans Saints 3, the Los Angeles Rams 3. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Linda Lavin, Christy McNichol, Max Gale, and Patrick O'Neill.
I want to know where he's sleeping tonight. He's sleeping in the living room.
Like Mom, Like Me, the Sunday movie at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Start your Sunday with 60 Minutes. Then it's all in the family.
Poor Aunt Rose.
She died. And the gang on Alice tries to break their bad habits. Next, a special Sunday movie, Like Mom, Like Me, with Linda Lavin and Christy McNichol. A great Sunday starting at 7, 6 Central and Mountain.
15 minutes left to play in this one, and there's a stat that I think shows the problem the Rams have been having today. They made a lot of mistakes and come at a very inopportune time. We start the fourth quarter. 2nd and 4. Capoletti, and Capoletti is not going to get the first down. They come to a third down. Fetterspiel making the stop. Hank, I just said a moment ago, I'm really surprised how low scoring this game is.
Well, a team that's won 7 games in a row, you know, they're going to be very cautious and very deliberate, and they want to make sure they keep the string going. On the other hand, the New Orleans Saints want to do everything they possibly can to stay in the race. They've got some patched up people up front. They want to make sure they don't make a lot of mistakes. So both of them are playing very conservatively and justifiably so.
Well, the Rams have 260 yards in total offense. Hayden rolling out, throws. He trapped it. I don't believe he caught it. There's a flag on the play. Now, wait a minute.
There's a flag on the play. Now, what they call, I don't know.
When that did he rule a completion on that pass? It's holding. It doesn't matter anyway, but that would have been quite a catch. It looked like he may have trapped the ball. The official was holding the spot at the 17, so that was a completed pass, but they're going to bring it back.
That was the second rollout that Hayden's been involved with in this game so far. Watch, he rolls to his right. Fetterspiel is pursuing from the inside out.
75. How about him? Do you think that's a hold right there?
Williams, I think, is the guy who they call it on, and Elois Grooms really did a great job of out-containing the play.
Holding, number 75, offense, repeat third down.
Well, that's a 9th penalty against. Look at that face mask, would you, that he wears? This game here, I don't think. Are you sure of that? Are we absolutely sure that Seattle's leading 24-0.
Isn't that incredible? They're playing in Seattle. Anything can happen there.
Boy, that's incredible. Anyway, that's a ninth penalty against the Rams. Hayden back trying to pick it up. And he goes to the big tight end, Terry Nelson. And Nelson is very close to the first down as he's wrestled down.
You knew they had 7 defensive backs. They have a stunt. They expect the 4 linemen to rush the passer, but they want to get their tight end on number 89, and they do that. I should say 49. They do that, and is very close to the first down.
Ralph McGill is 49, who was in there with 5
They
defensive
made the first
backs.
down.
How about that? They come from that penalty, and on one play, they get it back in a hurry. You know, prior to that last play, the Rams had 260 yards in total offense. New Orleans had only 71. Attendance today, 47,576. Beautiful afternoon for football.
If you're not careful, though, you play the game with a fear of losing rather than trying to win.
First down. In motion comes McCutcheon. Hayden on the first down, has got the protection. Now it's breaking down, and he fumbles the ball. And who's got it? The Saints. The New Orleans Saints have recovered the football. You know, the protection was there, Hank, and all of a sudden it broke down. What a mad scramble for the football.
Now watch, he's got a double wing formation on one side, and only one back remaining. He's got plenty of time to throw. Watch, he's a little deliberate.
That's Don Reese that spun him around.
Yes.
And coming up with the ball, number 57, Jim Merlo. The Saints have the football.
From South Carolina to North Dakota, they know what makes a state fair a great fair.
Beer makes it good.
Beer's just one Schlitz.
There's no debate.
Nothing else comes near.
Beer makes it good.
When you're out of Schlitz.
Schlitz makes it great.
You're out of beer.
11 million times a day, America reaches for a Schlitz. Every drop chill lagered for quality since 1849.
Schlitz makes it like no other good. Schlitz makes it great.
When I travel for business or pleasure, I take my realistic radio recorder from Radio Shack. It's compact and easy to carry. Has a built-in mic, ideal for taping business meetings. And the AM/FM radio lets me enjoy music and news. I can even record off the air. And right now, Radio Shack has them on sale. $30 off. A real bargain for people on the go. The realistic radio cassette recorder, just $59.95. Only at Radio Shack. A Tandy company.
Well, a big opportunity now for the Saints after the fumble recovery on the sack by Don Reese from the 22. They have it. 3-3 our score. 13 and a half minutes left in this game. Archie Manning going to throw on first down. He gets it off to Muncie, and Muncie was out of bounds. It will not count. He did have both feet in. That's one of the few times he's thrown to the backs here this afternoon.
Yeah, and they'll be open anytime you want to throw to them, really, because the linebackers are really tough, geared to the run, and especially on the other side with Brzezinski. On a first down, they ought to, I don't know how in the world they could cover Chuck Muncie or Tony Galbraith on a play-action situation, especially on the early downs. That time he was wide open.
Well, they might catalog that and use it again. Second down, 10. Tinker Owens at the bottom of the screen. Mike Harris to the top. This crowd not happy about that fumble. And here comes Jack Youngblood. Now, was he drawn out? I got to believe he was, the way he came across there. Let's see.
Youngblood is indicating that an offensive lineman moved, but I don't think he did. I think he just anticipated the call.
He may have just tried to convince the officials that that happened.
Yes. Oh, it was against the Saints. I thought... Oh, yeah, there it is. Robert Woods. He's the one that moved prematurely.
I tell you, our crew doing a heck of a job today showing some of those plays. There was an example of it. Woods just moved an eyelash, and that's all you got to do.
Ball start. Number 64, offense, second down.
I'm sorry, it was LaFari, 64. Looked like Woods.
Yes, it did.
I think they made a mistake because that 65 that's playing that spot. It was Woods. Second down now, 15. Manning complete to Muncie, but he doesn't go anywhere. He loses a yard. Jack Reynolds made sure of that. Tell you, had he not made that tackle, it looked like Muncie had a little running room, but Hacksaw, the middle linebacker, was there. Seattle's just pouring salt to the wound this afternoon as far as the Raiders are concerned. 27-0. How do you shut out the Oakland Raiders?
That's hard to believe.
Herrera just kicked a 32-yard field goal in that game. You know, Seattle last week got behind 28-0 to Green Bay, came fighting back. 5 defensive backs are in now for the Rams on a 3rd and 16.
Blitz.
And is almost intercepted.
Boy, that was a blitz, and Archie read it right. Henry Childs didn't see the ball coming quickly enough. It was almost intercepted, but it was a good read by Archie Manning.
Nolan Cromwell is the guy that almost picked it up.
See, the linebacker's coming. The tight end should be wide open, which he was, but he threw it. It looked like either behind Henry or else Henry didn't locate the ball. One of the two.
The wrong shoulder was coming over his wrong shoulder. He looked one way, the ball went the other. So now Blanchard will have to kick from the goal line. Wallace is back deep. He didn't hit that one very well. It's a line drive kick. Wallace to the 40, and he's to the 36-yard line. Jackie Wallace hit by Don Schwartz, the rookie out of Washington State. They're going to mark it at just outside the 36-yard line. And now the Rams, who are trying to keep their unbeaten string alive here in the Coliseum. They've won 11 straight since 1976. Now have an opportunity. That was only a 38-yard kick by Blanchard.
You know, either team has run a draw play with any degree of success or a play-action quick screen. Whoa!
Look out! Boy, that was 6 points that Pat Hughes picked that one off. You talk about a matter of seconds and inches.
I thought he intercepted the ball. He was coming in nicely at the right angle, but just missed it. A beautiful play by Pat Hughes. Look at it. Look at it. Boy, it'd have been a big scorch mark down the right sideline had he caught that ball.
You know what messed that up was Waddy kind of reached out and grabbed him when he went by, or Hughes would have had 6 points. 2nd and 10. I'll bet you Ray Malavasi stopped breathing for a moment. 2nd down 10 from the 36.5. Here's Capoletti, fumbles the ball. Guess who's got it? Pat Hughes. And Hughes, who's just all over the place, brings it out to the 33, and the Rams continue to turn the ball over.
Here's a play they like to run. Joe Fettersfield coming over. Derlin Moore, 74. Pat Hughes turning it inside. There you see Tommy Myers in the play. The ball is jarred loose, and Pat Hughes recovers the fumble.
I'm hurting in places I didn't know I had. They got me doing things I never thought I could. Feeling good, feeling strong. Heart is something I belong.
The Army can make you feel a lot of ways. Challenged, trained, and proud.
With this time, with these people, with this feeling, feeling good.
Sears National Automotive Sale. Get the power that started a car after 3 months on a frozen lake. Get the price. Save $7 on the maintenance-free Die Hard. Now only $47.99 with trade-in. The shock absorber that Joey Chitwood's stunt team didn't wear out in a whole season. Sears' best shock absorber, the Steady Rider, is now on sale. Only $11.99 each. You save 20%. At Sears.
Next Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, NBA action returns to CBS for the 1978-79 championship season. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
You know, the ball that time was actually knocked loose by Derlin Moore's foot. There it is, number 74. And Capoletti is carrying the ball away from his body, and that's what happens when you don't keep it in close.
So after the turnover, a fumble recovery by Pat Hughes from the 34. The Saints have it. 12:09 left in this game. Here comes Muncy. And Chuck gets a yard to the 35-yard line. Jack Reynolds over there. This stat, something, look at that. 3 fumbles, 1 interception. You tack 9 penalties on that, and that's the whole story for Los Angeles.
That's exactly right, and the Saints are doing a good job. They're playing it close to the vest, not making any mistakes, waiting for the Rams to make a mistake, and they don't make many, and that's why this game is 3-3 at this stage of the contest.
From the 35, 2nd and 9. Manning with protection. Up the middle, wide open, the big tight end Childs. Henry Childs, it's a first down. Jack Reynolds made the stop, and he was just wide open.
Wide open, they were doubling on the outside. Tony Galbraith was also wide open, but the guy that you want to lick in this pass coverage is Elmendorf, number 42, the strong safety. He's a guy that you want to get anytime you possibly can. That time the middle area was wide open, and Archie very wisely read it and got the ball right on target to Henry Childs.
First down to the 47-yard line. Manning now 7 of 15 for 79 yards. Saints have only 37 net yards in this half. This is Muncy. Oh, the ball is fumbled. Fred Dreyer picks it up. And you could see that developing. He was again carrying the ball away from his body. The same thing had happened to Capoletti.
That's right. It's all a part of discipline. The ball carrier has to carry that ball close to his body. You swing it away from your body, and it jars loose when you get hit. That's exactly what happened. Dreyer, 89, picks up the ball, and the Rams have possession. 1st and 10 on about the 28-yard line.
It was Dave Elmendorf who came up and batted that ball or knocked the ball away from Muncy. So the first turnover of the game for the Saints sets it up at the 29, and Fred Dreyer very alertly came up with it. So now the Rams have that opportunity with 10:38. They've had it before, though. They've had 2 fumbles in this 4th quarter. Give to McCutcheon, and the Saints are not going to give up.
That was a blitz that time. They've been running so much on 1st down that time the Saint defense blitzed, which was very wise. They didn't have any running room. They filled all the gaps, and as a result, there was no place to run. It's 2nd down. Lost about 3.
Joe Fetterspiel, Don Reese in on the tackle. 2nd down, 13 yards. Well, make it 12.
That time the defense guessed right, the offense guessed wrong.
Well, the Rams going to run out of opportunities here. This is the 3rd time they've been inside the Saints into the field in this 4th quarter. Willie Miller, and Miller has a catch. It's just about a yard short of the 1st down. Maurice Spencer over to make the tackle for New Orleans.
It's just a sideline pattern in front of Maurice Spencer, number 29. He gets the ball right on target perfectly and is just short, about a yard short of 1st down.
You see the time ticking away here at the Coliseum. You also see the down in yardage, 3rd and 1.
Jackie Slater and Charlie Young are in there at the tight end spot. They got 3 of them in there now, trying to get the 1st down.
They need to get to the 19. Give to McCutcheon, and McCutcheon, I don't believe he made it. He did not make it. It's a 4th down coming up, and a tenacious defensive effort here by the Saints. Looked like he was going to be thrown for a loss. He avoided that tackle, and then they closed in on him. 4th down. Now, Mr. Stram, what do you do?
Well, you got to kick the field goal. You must kick it with a score 3-3, and you have to really give the defense of the New Orleans Saints a lot of credit. They're really playing a gritty game, doing a terrific job defensively. Alex Price, Derlin Moore, Elois Grooms, all of them doing a great job along with the linebackers.
Well, the Rams now will be attempting a 38-yard field goal. Frank Correll to kick it. The kick is blocked. It looked like Don Reese. I believe it was Reese. Chapman comes up with it. And now we've got some problems on that far sideline. But if we can pick it up on replay, I think it's Don Reese. Let's see, Hank.
It looks like he's the one that got penetration, number 60. Let's see. There he is. He gets good penetration. He's got good range. He leaped and was responsible for the block kick.
Boy, he just blew him out of there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And Chapman, you can see, gets up. He tries to advance up the field. They're going to mark the ball. Well, wait a minute. We've got a flag over there. There's a penalty on the play. So the Rams, if they lose this game, this is going to haunt them, because the fourth quarter, they've had the ball 3 times inside that 35-yard line.
Holding number 50 on the kicking team during the block kick. Penalty declined. First down, New Orleans on the recovery.
But anyway, they've given up so many opportunities to put this game away. Kevin McLean was the guy, there he is, that was guilty of holding. He's a first-round draft pick out of Colorado State in '76. So we've got a timeout here at the Coliseum. Interesting football game as Corral's field goal is blocked. It's still 3-3.
Here's 100 years of tradition coming at you.
Here comes the king.
Here comes the king. Here comes the big number 1.
Here comes the king.
Budweiser beer, the king is second to none.
When you say Bud, the king is coming. Let's hear the call. When you say Bud, you said it all. When you say Bud, you said it all.
Introducing a whole new breed of Mustang. The all-new '79 Mustang from Ford. With a new aerodynamic design, precise handling, and Mustang performance from options of V6, V8, even a turbocharged engine. Mustang for '79, the new breed in 2-door and 3-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
Isaiah Robertson with Pat Hayden's hat on. He's a fan of Pat Hayden. I'll tell you, this whole team is really behind Pat Hayden. But right now, they've got some problems. The Rams just had a field goal block. And at the 33-yard line, the Saints tied up 3-3. They have the football. Tony Galbraith. Galbraith is wrapped up for maybe a yard gain at most. Larry Brooks coming over there. Jack Reynolds. Tell you, Galbraith just disappeared on that play. Brooks at 254, Reynolds at 231. Both of them very heady football players. This Ram defense, they're comparing it to that Pearson foursome of years ago, the way they're playing.
Well, they're not as big as that defense was, but boy, they're very quick and very agile and read and react as well as anybody in the league.
Nolan Cromwell comes in, 5 defensive backs. Second down, 10 yards to go. Manning's going to go down. Both sides coming in on him. Dreyer, Brooks, and Brooks will get the sack. And that's the second sack of this game for Larry Brooks.
Archie goes back. They've got 6 or 5 defensive backs in the game. But Brooks comes through there along with, watch Dreyer on the backside. And Brooks do a great job. Sack number 4 on Manning in this game so far.
Larry Brooks. New England leading Miami. That's a battle for the supremacy of the AFC East.
I'm still surprised that they don't try to roll out some with Archie. He does that so well, and he hasn't done it at all in this game, except on one occasion, and I think that was by accident.
Third down, 19 yards to go. A flag. Way back to the other side, and boy, that one almost was picked off. Coming over on that far side was Rod Berry. The intended receiver is Galbraith. I got to believe there might have been holding, though, where that flag was thrown, and that's what it is, holding against the Saints. They'll refuse that, though, because it brings up 4th down.
Yes.
There's Berry. Berry picked off 128 yards against the Saints in that first game for a touchdown.
Number 65, offense, declined, 4th down.
Well, the Ram defense bottles them up again. Blanchard, who did not kick well the last time, will attempt one from the 10-yard line. Wallace is back deep. Last two kicks have not been good. Blanchard had a 38-yarder and a 21-yarder. Jackie Wallace back at the 35. Sets up the wall to the near side, but it's broken up very effectively that time. Coming over to make the stop, Ron Crosby, the former Detroit Lion.
The other thing, that was only 3.4. Wasn't up there very long.
3-3. We're all tied up.
3 unidentified 19-inch color TV pictures, each the best of its brand. Over 1,000 people saw them and picked the one with the best overall picture. They didn't pick America's biggest seller, Zenith, or the second biggest, RCA. Over 60% picked the 19-inch Sylvania Superset. Over 60%. We're not the biggest, but a lot of people think we've got the best picture. The Sylvania Superset.
Fred, we got a new page 1 here. Making sure the news gets out is what my job's about. Now it's all behind. Got blue ribbon on my mind. I got Pabst blue ribbon on my mind. More and more lately I find
the premium taste of Pabst. It's a lot to look forward to.
I've got Pabst blue ribbon on my mind.
The grass is always greener over the septic tank comes to television. Starring Carol Burnett and Charles Grodin. A very funny look at life, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Well, there's your story. You can see the 3 points on both sides coming in the second quarter on field goals. There's Pat Hayden's effort for the afternoon. 7:02 left in this one from the 41-yard line. Quick pitch to McCutcheon. And McCutcheon weaves his way across the 50-yard line. Play didn't look like it was going to develop for that much. Eventually, Maurice Spencer over to make the stop. And that's a first down for Los Angeles.
That's the nice thing about a controlled runner like McCutcheon. Pat Hughes came up the field. He cut inside of that block and made a nice run inside in the seam that was open. And he picked up the yardage. And now it's 1st and 10. Los Angeles Rams.
I tell you, the Saints have had to play a lot of defense in the second half. It's been warm today. Give to McCutcheon, he'll go the other way. And about the same result. He's inside the 45. Tom Myers coming over to make the tackle. And McCutcheon now starting to sweep left, sweep right. And now he's got a second down and still about 3 yards. Let's make it 4 yards to go. Say the coaches may have said, let's just give it to number 30 and let's get this thing over with. Get it in.
Yeah, McCutcheon's 18 for 44 yards so far. Saints have done a great job on him.
On a 2nd and 4, Capoletti. And he's not going to get that first down, so it goes to a 3rd down.
You know,
Erlen Moore in on the stop.
They used that same formation the last time on a second down situation and ran exactly the same play. The Saints reacted very well to it, and they didn't make much on the play.
3rd down still, almost 3 yards to go. The ball at the 41. Time 5:15. Hayden on the 3rd down. And it's incomplete. Hayden just couldn't find anybody open on that play. Nelson, the intended receiver. Jim Merlo was the guy that was giving Hayden some problems. He didn't know whether to run or throw. It was Merlo who was forcing the action. So it's 4th down again, and that Saint defense gets another accolade as they have hung in there and they've had their backs to the wall this entire 4th quarter.
Hayden's 13 for 22 for 168 yards so far in the game, but they still have just 3 points.
He's been sacked twice, thrown 1 interception as Glenn Walker goes back. Wes Chandler at the 10-yard line. Hey, he's faking it. Look out. He is hit, and it's intercepted by Eric Felton. Who was the guy that came after Walker? Walker's hurt. I think it's Rich Motti. Motti just unloaded on Glenn Walker. Look at this, Hank.
Yep. Marty really came in there, took the right angle, and really destroyed him on the shot. As a result, he had to throw the ball way too high. Jackie Wallace was the intended receiver.
Eric Felton picked it up, and Walker is down. Glenn Walker, he's not used to having contact like that as a punter, as he really got annihilated by Motti. That gives us time now to remind you, next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific, the CBS Sports Spectacular, the Phoenix 150. What a shootout that's going to be between Al Unser and the defending USAC national champion Tom Sneva. And then it'll be followed by the world's strongest men. And get this, the event is a car lift. They have to pick up the back bumper, get both wheels off of the surface, and they start at 1,800 pounds. The Phoenix 150, the world's strongest men, next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Well, Walker is still down over there, and there's one thing we said before, Hank. I've never seen a year when we've had more controversy around punters, field goal kickers. Injuries have caused a lot of it, and now the Rams may be having some problems in that department.
Very unusual in a lot of respects, and you don't know what the reason is. It's always hard to explain why these things happen, and the more you try to dwell on it, the worse it gets.
Well, he's up now. It looks like he might be all right. He may have taken a shot in the ribs. Rich Motti, by the way, is the special performer. He's the special teams deluxe player. He had 16 tackles on special teams play coming into today. And boy, he came flying through there. He spotted what Walker was doing, and he made him pay for it.
And the nice thing about it was that he was going for to try to block the kick, but he saw what happened. He readjusted his course and got a good shot on the kicker. But that's a typical example of the kind of a player he is.
Well, San Francisco beating Atlanta. Now, Atlanta and New Orleans were tied for second place in the NFC West. So if the Saints could win this one, they would have undisputed second place. From the 30-yard line, a first down. Archie Manning trying to throw to Galbraith. That was a tough play because Galbraith turned one way and had to come back the other.
Yes. And even at that, he almost got the ball.
Jim Youngblood was back there. Youngblood really gets his drops in a hurry. He can get back.
Yes, he does. But in spite of that, he was still open, and both linebackers give you a lot of room. And as a result, you ought to be able to throw to the backs in the flat areas and let them run with the football, especially on first down. They just haven't had a chance to do that much in the game.
We have a man shaken up again, and that's Woods. It's going off the field. He's being helped off. And coming in will be Kevin Hunt. That's the second time that Woods has had to be taken out of the game. So it's second down 10. This has been a real barroom brawl here in the fourth quarter. Both teams turning the ball over. The Rams have been so close, but they haven't been able to put the lid on it. And the Saints are alive.
It's a great defensive football game, no question about it.
Archie Manning on second and 10. He gets it off. Muncie had it for a stride, and that was all. I tell you, that was run for your life. And Manning averted being dumped back there and losing long yardage.
That was a blitz situation again. Archie was looking downfield to get rid of the football, but he didn't have time. He jumps into the pocket and dumps the ball off to Chuck Muncie. But Chuck couldn't keep hold of the handle on it, and it falls incomplete.
Third down. Walker, we understand, bruised his tailbone. The punter who faked that punt. Hope nothing serious. And you see Woods, number 65, is back in the game. He's out one play. Third and 10. Up the middle, he's got his man, Childs. And Childs has a first down. Childs has been a big clutch receiver for the last 2 years for the Saints team.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better tight end in all the profession of football than Henry Childs. And Archie really steps up and really whistles this ball. There again, it's on Elmendorf, and he's a guy that you look for. He's a guy that you want to lick, and they licked him on that play.
Henry Childs last year caught 9 touchdown passes. He hasn't caught one this year. But look at that. He has 20 catches. He led the tight ends touchdown catches last year. First down, so he delivers on a third down. And for the first time, the Saints have a little field position in this fourth quarter. Manning He gets rid of it to Tinker Owens, and Owens to the 45, and Manning surveyed the whole field about 3 times before he released that football.
He's got a great feel for trouble and also has a great feel and understanding of where everybody is, and that's why he can jump around, move around, and he get the ball to the right guy because he's fully aware of what's happening.
Baltimore leading Denver 7-6. I wonder if they missed a point after or 2 field goals. There's your stats. 2nd down, 3 yards to go from the 45. 3:21 left in this deadlock 3-3 game. Manning to Galbraith, and Galbraith just about to the 41, and that looks like a first down.
Yes, I think he made the first down. Jack Reynolds made the tackle, but it's very definitely, I think from here, it looks like a first down.
See Jack Reynolds getting up a little slow, number 64. I'll tell you one thing I'm surprised by, Coach, is the fact that I knew the Saints had good people to skilled positions, but they have held their own in the trenches here today.
Well, you know, you talk about injuries, and it can be very deceptive in that you talk about Robert Woods. You know, he's a regular tackle for the New York Jets for 5 years when we traded for him or got him a year ago. So it's not like putting a rookie in there. Dave LaFari is a fine young offensive lineman, 6'7", 265 or 275. He's playing right guard. And so really the only new guy in the offensive line really is J.T. Taylor, the left tackle. And, of course, Sturts is playing left guard, too, and he's doing a good job in there, too, for a youngster. But he's been around for 4 or 5 years.
Well, the first down was made. The ball at the 42 of Los Angeles. 2:50. Archie Manning. It's complete to Childs again, and Childs trying to get the first down. I don't believe he made it. And Henry Childs right now is the man that Manning is looking to. Manning was dumped when he released this ball.
Yes, but here again, Elmendorf is the guy they're working on. Cody Jones that time, 76er coming in. Youngblood was over there too.
By the way, there's a flag on the play. We didn't spot it at first, all the way back to the 45. And now it's going to go against Los Angeles. Personal foul. And that'll tack yardage on. And now the Saints have to think about a field goal with 2:28. They don't want to risk the turnover.
That's right.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 76, defense. The penalty is tacked on to the dead ball spot on a completion.
That was Cody Jones. I saw Manning get dumped. I didn't watch it that all the way through, but he was late getting there.
Yes, Cody Jones, 76, came through there.
Well, there's the stats. There's Cody Jones, fifth-year man from San Jose State. He has 2 sacks this year. And now the Saints, in his 3-3 game, have the ball at the 19-yard line. Manning rolling out. Complete to Galbraith, 10-5, touchdown. Tony Galbraith took it in, and the Saints bench is empty. They're coming onto the field. That's the play that they didn't go to earlier, and they got it in for 6 points.
There you are. There's a great illustration. The fullback wide open on Brzezinski. Watch him. Wide open. There's no way in the world he can cover Tony Galbraith or Chuck Muncie. Was there all day long. It's the first time they've thrown it.
19-yard touchdown. And looks like we have another man down on the field for New Orleans at the 19-yard line. That would be Chuck Muncie. Boy, I hope nothing serious on him. He's had problems with that knee, and that looks like what they're looking at now, the left knee of Muncie. That would hurt. That would take some of the flavor away from that touchdown. There's Dick Nolan. Well, now the Rams with 2:22, you got to think about them a little bit, are in real danger of losing their first game of this year. There's Muncie. Boy, this guy, I tell you, Hank, if he can stay healthy, he can play with anybody.
Yeah, he missed some games. He missed about 4 games earlier. You don't know how serious this is or whether it's the same knee. The Rams have had 10 penalties for 112 yards, 3 fumbles, and 2 interceptions. It's hard to win a football game with those kind of problems.
The left knee of Chuck Muncie. And that's what he's been having problems with, is the knee. He tore the ligament in the knee and had to miss 3 games. Battled back, played last week, and here today. Here's Nickemeyer with a point after attempt. This is some game. 9-3 the score. The kick by Nickemeyer. He gets it up high, and he's got it. It's 10-3, and now the Rams have the pressure on their back. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in this game. The Rams, who came in here unbeaten, 7-0 with 11 straight wins in the Los Angeles Coliseum, now trailing the upstart New Orleans Saints, who are trying to even their record up at 4-4 for the year. It's been the type of game where Archie Manning, here in the fourth quarter, showing a lot of courage, staying back there, getting sacked once, able to throw the ball to Galbraith for the 19-yard touchdown, and Manning all year long has been a clutch performer for this team.
He's been very hot all season long. I'm sure he didn't throw much last week because he was hurt a little bit. But he's a premier quarterback, and I think people around the country are starting to realize what a great a talent and ability he is.
10-3. And now the 2-minute offense will come out. Ray Malabase's crew like to get a good return now by Jerry Latin. Latin to 15, Latin out to the 20, and he's to the 22-yard line. Well, Hank, you work on this during the week, don't you? Your 2-minute offense. And
yes.
That's just about what they've got right now.
But you don't like to have to put it in effect when you're behind like you are right now with 2:12 left in a game. The defense of the Saints is playing extremely well, and I'll be very surprised if this Ram team can penetrate that defense in the last 2 minutes. Let's see what happens.
Jack Holmes made the tackle on that kickoff, and here they come. And it looked like we had movement on the offensive line on the right-hand side, and that's not the way to get your drive started. Looked like the right guard or tackle for Los Angeles moved before the ball was snapped. That's what it was. So they'll be starting 1st and 15. You know, that last drive, we were mentioning Manning, he was 4 for 4 for 51 yards on that touchdown drive.
When he had to put the bread on the table, he put it right there.
He's got great courage.
And the other thing, you have to give a lot of credit.
Ball start, number 75, offense, 1st down.
Let's see if we can pick it up now. There's Hayden looking around, and there it is.
There it was.
Yes, sir. Williams, 75. Oh, they've been plagued by the penalties. 1st and 15. Hayden back. He's going to run it. He's got a lot of running room. And he brings it out to the 26-yard line. Of course, he had a 1st and 15, so had a long ways to go. Joe Fetterspiel over to make the stop. And the ball at the 26. Los Angeles is going to call for a timeout. That is their 2nd timeout of this game. Well, I'm sorry, it's a 2-minute warning that is now being executed. 10-3, New Orleans.
We could tell you that Pioneer's PL518 probably offers today's best value in a direct drive turntable. We could tell you its tone arm rides on 10 times the conventional number of ball bearings for smoother tracking, or that its direct drive motor all but eliminates wow and flutter. But nothing we tell you will be as convincing as this. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
Introducing a new American road car. The all-new Ford LTD for $79, with more front seat room, more rear seat room, more window area, and more handling ease than last year's LTD. Plus the power of a V8 engine standard. A road car to take you across town or across the country.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
To test drive the all-new LTD on your own roads, see your Ford dealer today.
Well, the 2-minute warning has just been completed. The Rams with their work cut out for them. 2nd down now, 5. The Saints trying to do something here this afternoon they've never done before, and that's win in the Coliseum. They started coming here in 1967. Here's McCutcheon. He dropped it. That play there, Hank, would indicate to me a little bit of Los Angeles trouble all afternoon long. They've shown in times they've been a little flat.
Well, I tell you, when you lose and make as many mistakes as they made today, that's invariably the reaction that you have. It looks like a team is flat, but they just, you know, when you make that many mistakes, it's very obvious that the concentration level isn't as good as it should be, and as a result, you are a little flat and not quite as alert, not quite as sharp, and these are the things that happen to you.
And they came off of a very emotional high, beating Minnesota last week. So it's third down, 5, 1:57 left in this game. Hayden, he's got his man. It's a first down to the 45-yard line, and they're not dead yet as Ron Jesse came up with a catch.
Holding.
Wait a minute, bring it back.
Holding against the Rams, I think.
We have another Saint shaken up on the play at the 21-yard line. Well, as we just mentioned, the penalties, it comes right back and haunts them again. They had the first down all the way out to the 45.
And this is what happens, I think, when you win big and you play a team that hasn't won big. You have the mistaken impression that, well, you know, it's going to be easy, especially after a big game like they won against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota last week. And the next thing you know, you just can't throw the head out in the middle of the field and expect to win.
Look at that, 12 for 128 yards.
It's always the same. You have to earn the right to win. You just can't go out there and think you're going to win because you won last week or because you won 7 in a row.
That was a 19-yard pass completion. That will not count. And now let's listen to the explanation. The man that's going off the field, shaken up on the play. Look at this, 24 all. What a barn burner that is.
Holding.
Looks like Alex Price going up.
75 offense. Repeat third down.
There's John Williams, and he's coming off the field. I've never seen a face mask like that. That's the 5th penalty on Williams today. John Williams have a tough afternoon. Third down now, 15. Hayden's still going to try to battle out of it. Across the near side to Willie Miller, and a flag. Pass interference is coming up.
Looked like pass interference on Marine Spencer, number 29. Let's see what they call it, but I think that's what they call. He was lucky that ball wasn't intercepted. He threw it all the way across the field. It was floating up there like the air was going out of it. And there's Maurice Spencer, number 29. On Miller, number 82, first down, the Rams.
That's an automatic first down. They didn't have enough yardage, but it's an automatic first down across the 30, and they're still alive. 1:38. You see the time remaining. Hayden scrambles out of it. He fumbles the ball, but the Rams recover it. That has been an elusive football today. McCutcheon saves it for Los Angeles. They're going to have to hurry now. The clock running with 1:22. They gained a couple of yards on that play. Second down. Look out. Hayden from behind gets it off to Capoletti. He's very close to the first down, but Hayden now is not getting up. Hayden is down at the 25-yard line. He really took a shot from Don Reese, who has been all over this football field. Reese is playing like an all-pro today for New Orleans. Now the Rams, interestingly enough, are one of 6 teams in the NFL to carry only 2 quarterbacks on their roster. There he goes under the weight of Reese.
Boy, he really gave him a shot. And of course, that, you know, anytime you get hit from the blind side like that, you're wide open, and that's where the majority of the injuries take place in professional football. A lot of people have the mistaken impression that they get hurt when they run, but that's not the case. They get hurt when they throw the ball, when they're all spread out, release the ball, and then get hit.
Here's Vince Ferragamo, who will come in. He's only thrown 4 passes this year, completing 2 of them. Hayden coming off on his own power, and that's good to see. You know, I asked the Rams, I said, you know, it's interesting you only carry 2 quarterbacks. They said, well, we felt if we got down to the 3rd quarterback, we wouldn't be playing Super Bowl anyway. And that's what they were thinking of. So Ferragamo comes in. They are just short of the first down on that completion to Capoletti. There's still time, 1:07. The ball just across the 40-yard line. It's 3rd down, an inch or 2 to go.
I'm sure they'll try to make the first down and then put Hayden back in the game. Let's see if he's able to come back in the game.
Ferragamo is no slouch. He's quite a prospect. Got a great arm, 6'3", 207. Big guy. He grew up in California and then transferred from California and went to the University of Nebraska to win All-American honors. 3rd down, less than a yard to go. Give to McCutcheon. He's got the first down to the 45. The Rams with 2 timeouts remaining. That one timeout they used earlier on a mix-up could hurt them. First down from the 45. Ferragamo again. Far side, intended for McCutcheon. And that'll stop the clock.
Hayden's back in the game. I felt sure they'd put him right back in there unless something seriously was wrong with him.
That's a tough place to bring a quarterback into. 49 seconds left.
And only one timeout left.
According to the scoreboard clock, we have 2, but there's only 1. Well, we'll go with our official people here. 1 timeout. I don't remember the second timeout.
They put Young in there, tight end.
From the 45, second down, 10. Hayden in, cranking up. It is caught by Ron Jesse. A juggling catch by Jesse to the 35. First down. The clock continues to run. Hayden again. And a diving attempt at the interception by Tommy Myers. And that stops it with 23 seconds. So at the 35-yard line, the Rams trying desperately to get this game into overtime. Tuesday night on CBS, Papillon, and you want to talk about a frightening movie, an adventure movie. That is some movie. I saw Papillon, and it's going to be coming up Tuesday night, starting at 8, 7 Central Mountain Time. Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. Sensational, that movie. Don't miss it. Second down and 10. Hayden, a flag on the play. Incomplete at the 20. Campoletti, the intended receiver. But a flag has been thrown. Holding against Los Angeles. 18 seconds left in the game. I want to thank our spotters, Chuck Panama and Harry Lake, our statistician, Art Hoffman, and our scorer, Ozzie Lang, for their excellent help here today. And from the 35, they'll start marking off 10 yards. Our producer, Barry Smith, and our director, Bob Daly. I tell you, there's a couple of pros in that truck today.
They're the best in the business.
Holding.
And Ray Ball, our associate director.
Offense. Repeat, second down.
65, that's Tom Mack. Thank you, gentlemen, for your help. As now, with 18 seconds left, the Rams trying somehow to get this ball in the end zone. It's second down and 20. Hayden throwing as he's hit. Just as he released the ball, Grooms got to him.
Lois Grooms got good pressure on him, and just as he started to release the ball, got a piece of his arm. Great play by Grooms, number 78.
Now, Hank, you come to a third down. Now, you come to a situation where you're almost going to have to put one up in the air and everybody try to run after it in the end zone, right?
Yes, you will have to do that on fourth down. They're going to try to get it a little closer now so they take a little pressure off their offense. But if they get a shot on fourth down, they got to throw it in the end zone with the hope and expectation that maybe they can make some kind of a big play and tie it. Hayden is 15 for 27 for 194 yards, 1 interception, and 2 sacks.
Colin Bryant is checked into the backfield, replacing Lawrence McCutcheon. He's got time. Intercepted. Ray Brown with his second interception, and that'll do it. And the surprising New Orleans Saints are going to even their record at 4-4 and pick up their first win ever here in the Los Angeles Coliseum. And the Rams will go down to their first setback of the year, which means there's only one unbeaten team in the NFL. And Hank, you'll be there Monday. Pittsburgh against Houston as the Steelers, the only team that's unbeaten. And the way things are going today, it's going to be tough for Pittsburgh to remain unbeaten.
Listen, the thing, you know, is competition, the way as keen as it is, the emotional level changes so much from week to week that anybody can win. And I think, you know, this is a great compliment to the New Orleans Saints coaching staff and their football team. They did a remarkable job out here today, the first time they've ever won in Los Angeles. But it should provide some strong impetus for this team as they go along the second half of the season.
I tell you, further up the way, San Francisco and Atlanta, with 1:17 left in that game, are now tied up 17-all. So now the Saints run the clock out, and the New Orleans Saints have won it here 10-3. So it's been a good West Coast swing for them. They won in Candlestick Park last week against the 49ers. They stayed out here training at Palo Alto, Stanford University. And then they drove down a little distance, walked into the Coliseum, and did what a lot of people thought couldn't be done, and that's beat the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams, on the other hand, their next game will be on a Monday night. They go against Atlanta, and Atlanta having quite a struggle this afternoon with the San Francisco 49ers. Well, the Rams led the division by 4 games coming in today with 9 to play. They're still in very good shape in the division, but now the Saints become a factor as far as a wild card playoff is concerned.
Well, the important thing is really, as far as it was a great win for the New Orleans Saints. The Rams, however, are still 3 games ahead, as you mentioned, and the important thing is what happens in the race, and they're in good shape. And of course, the Saints have helped their situation.
All right, the final score: New Orleans 10, Los Angeles 3. This is Gary Bender saying so long from the Coliseum for Hank Stram. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
Does the Bible permit corporal punishment against children? A Texas minister insists it does. But the state of Texas sent Brother Roloff to jail. Watch 60 Minutes tonight at 7, 6 Central and Mountain on CBS.
Last September, they were nothing but a generation of hoodlums, as mean as snakes, stealing, robbing, getting cars, running the highway, shooting dope, robbing people's houses. Here's the secret of our heathen.